Hey YouTube, this is Abby, and this is my 18 months on HRT video. The first thing that I'm going to start this video with is a little bit of an apology because I've been late again in making these, but this time I actually do have a valid reason of sorts. Both Avis and I came down with a stomach flu, and so we were kind of out of commission for a little while. This is actually really strange to make these videos without her here. Interesting. Plus the light is a little bit blinding. And I'm a little bit tired. But anyway, you know what? This isn't about that. This is about where I'm at with looking for what I think is a new profession and a new career path. And, you know, as part of that, what I wanted to say, an outline, is thank you so much, Mark Riley, for your book recommendation. You have changed my life. For anyone who didn't read Mark's comment, this is the book, Let Your Life Speak, Parker J. Palmer. I'm just about finished with it, and if you look at it, basically every single page is written on. This has been one of the best books that I have read in quite a long time. And it's really falling together nicely with another book that I've been working on called The Four Agreements, which was recommended to me by my previous roommate, Carmen. Between the two of them, I have been doing a lot of writing, and all positively. So I think I've got a lot of insights. So what I want to run through is a little bit about where I'm at in processing this information in my life as a professional transgender woman, and what that means to me in terms of going forward and contributing to some organization's success and figuring out in what capacity that's going to be. So the first thing, like I was saying, is that I've been doing inventories of things that I'm drawn toward and things that I'm repelled by. And it's just been fascinating. It's not something that I had thought about before in such a way, but, you know, like, I was a pre-med student for a long time, and I thought that I had failed at that despite my good grades. And the reality is, I was deathly afraid of sick and dying people. I just really couldn't handle seeing people dying. And I volunteered on the oncology and orthopedics ward of a hospital at University of Oregon. So that actually gives me a little bit of insight, if I look honestly at why I ceased pursuing that career. Some other things that at a very low level, which is what we call it in software development, understanding software engineering concepts. I understand things at a high level, but codes, communication protocols, ports, object-oriented programming, at a very low level of implementation. I can get it, but it's not natural to me. It takes a lot of work. It's sort of like my analogy recently has been like, if a squirrel tries really hard, it can hop like a rabbit really well for a period of time, but eventually becomes exhausted. And that's me with writing code. In contrast, I'm very good with systems, and I understand systems pretty well, and that makes sense to my brain. Understanding accounting, investment stocks, and mutual funds. Quite honestly, I'd rather make soup. Any soup. Pick a soup. Repetitive technical administrative tasks, timesheets, progress reports, filing, and oh yeah, we won't mention that one. But anyway, so these are some things, by looking at things that I was repelled by in my background, that gave me some insights in terms of going forward and looking at opportunities in different organizations that might be a really good fit for me. In contrast, I've taught a number of classes, including various chemistry, Eastern philosophy classes, genetics, ecology, and I was always called a natural. It was something that I got getting in front of a class, even as a transgender woman. I'm there. If I feel like I'm dancing with you in that way, and I'm contributing to you and I'm facilitating, I'm there. I'm not thinking about self, and I'm not insecure in that way. Plus, I've got enough in my background that I'm kind of solid. I mean, I've lived in enough scary places that, you know, somebody's just not going to intimidate me by walking up to me. Well, unless it's like at night and I'm alone. But you get the idea. It's just, you know, I'm comfortable being in front of a group of people, particularly when I'm there, because I feel like I've got something to offer them and because they want me to bring that to them. And Mark will understand that analogy of the dance. So some of the other things, I hate to say it, but I do so adore learning about makeup techniques and shopping. I guess I'm fairly typical stereotype in that way a little bit. But anyway, it gives me a sense of aesthetics and appreciation of there's a certain culture to being a woman and caring about your appearance and participating in that with other women and exploring looks and attitudes and colors and palettes and drapes and silhouettes and all of that. And that's just all fascinating to me. And I think that part of what that is a strength, is an appreciation of aesthetics and of the different way that we perceive beautiful things and can interrelate. Like for me, you know, like a lot of people, different types of social media outlets make perfect sense to me because I'm such an extrovert. That's a natural part of who I am, and I'm going to go into that in a second. But Pinterest, Facebook, other types of social media makes a lot of sense to me as an extrovert and as a technician because it's a way of facilitating dialogue and communication between people. I feel like I'm interviewing, but you know what? I'm processing as I'm talking to you, and hopefully this is beneficial to someone. Anyway, that's enough of my inventory, but I did share some of it with you. And some of the other things that I did, you know, and I have yet to do, but once I get done this inventory and I've written about a page of it of what I'm drawn toward and what I'm repelled by, then I'm going to look at my strengths, liabilities, assets, weaknesses, and get a better sense of who I really am and look at my failures, quote, failures, which were more or less the case of burnout than actual failing. I would do something really well and then I would give out. So anyway, then I can really get a sincere picture of who I am. I don't want to be an oak tree trying to pretend to be a pine tree because I think it's in vogue. And then I can also figure out, okay, well, where does this pine tree fit? Or where does this oak tree fit? This specific one within an organization that I have something that comes natural to me that I can give back to that organization. And we're both flourishing in this joint symbiotic ecology. I love thinking about ecology in that context too, in terms of social groups, the ecology of a social group. Some of the other things that I'm doing is I'm doing an inventory of agreements about myself, and this is going to go to the trans piece a little bit, because what I've found is that if I really look deep at some of like the thoughts that would come up, and I would have these negative ideas, and I really pick at them, you know, I get some space, I meditate, and I look at them. And some of the things that I realize are these things that I've believed about myself since I was a kid, some of which common to, you know, probably most transgender people, that I was less than because I wasn't born the correct gender, that I am basically, I'm a birth defect, you know, I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like. See, that's a negative spin. Instead of I'm a gift and I'm one of many unique people in terms of my gender expression conflicting with that assignment as a child. But so let's change that. I'm going to work on changing that agreement. Failures demonstrated faults in character, inherent weakness, flaws, defective loss, and internal transphobia. All of those things which creep up and handicap me, because when I start believing it, then I go into self, and I go into self-centeredness and depression, which means that I'm not available to give, and I'm kind of stifling my own roots. So, you know, what this all comes down to, again, is I'm really trying to take an honest, unflinching look at who I am as a human being in entirety and understand what all of these parts of me, and I have to go to what all these parts of me can mean in terms of vocation. You know, where do I really fit? Where am I really going to flourish? In what type of organization? And so I'm taking this time to really do some analysis of the opportunities out there and match them against these inventories to the best of my ability. So wish me luck. And I think actually that's probably about it for me right now. I know I talk really fast, but it's been a really exciting couple of weeks now. Oh, and yeah, more on nutrition next video. I'm a lot healthier. Okay, take care everyone. Bye-bye.